Hey mamas, welcome back to the Mom Goals podcast. I am Camry Monet, and I'm so happy that you could be here with me, just joining me today for the podcast. So I want to just go ahead and get straight into it. Today, I will be talking about the connection between comparison and overwhelm. And then I want to give you 3 reasons why you should stop comparing. Okay. So, first, I'm going to start out by saying that I am not getting on here on this podcast today to talk to y'all as if I have arrived and that I don't deal with comparison, because I definitely do. And the only reason that I'm here talking about it today is because I just had my own experience with comparison, and it just was not a very good one. It was not a very pleasant one. And so I was like, you know what? Let me get on here and share this. Let me share what I have learned. And it's funny because I used to think that like I don't deal with comparison anymore. I'm like, yeah, that's not a struggle of mine. But then a situation happens, and then here you are back again, right? Here we are back again dealing with some of the same stuff that we thought we overcame. However, I believe that God allows us to go through these situations so that we can see that we haven't arrived, and so we can always be dependent on Him. So if you are like me and you do struggle from time to time, on and off, don't get mad at yourself. Don't beat yourself up. It is okay. Like we all do it, especially moms. Like a lot of us deal with comparison, and it may look different from the next person, but we all struggle. So anyway, so let me go ahead and get into what had happened. What had happened with me. So y'all know I just had a baby. Baby Cannon will be 5 weeks on Wednesday. So after having the baby, y'all, I had put this unrealistic expectation on myself to just have it all together, to be able to just run my business flawlessly, to be present on social media, to look good every day. Like I was putting all of these unrealistic expectations on myself. And the root of that, the reason why I was doing that was because of comparison. It's because I was seeing other moms on social media just killing it on social media. Like it's like it just, to me, it seems that they never missed they just never missed the beat after having a baby. And so I'm like, okay, well, I have to be like this. I would also see women, like the women that go to my church, or just women, just other people just looking good and seeming like they just have it all together shortly after having a baby. So I was like, okay, that's what I need to be doing. And that is what sent me into a downward spiral. Like I got so overwhelmed. I was so exhausted and overwhelmed and frustrated with myself because I couldn't reach this level that I was trying to get to. I'm like, God, like, what am I doing wrong? It ain't working. And God helped me to see that I was comparing myself. Okay. So let me also go ahead and just tell you what comparison is. I feel like sometimes we don't really know that we deal with comparison, but let me give you some examples. Do you often find yourself on social media seeing other women doing a certain thing, and then you say, man, I should be doing that? So, for instance, what about on YouTube? Are you on YouTube? Do you see these women with these perfectly aesthetically pleasing houses, super clean? Everything just looks so good. And then you say, oh my goodness, why don't my house look like this? I must be doing something wrong. Do you do that? Do you look at influencers on Instagram and say, oh my gosh, her life looks perfect. I must not be doing something right. Like I need to make sure that my life looks like hers. I need to make sure that I look like her, that I dress like her, that my kids look like hers, that whatever it may be. Like, are you sitting there saying, because she does something this way, I should be doing it too? Have you? Raise your hand. Okay, I can't see you if you raise your hand, but I'm guilty. Like, I will be the first to admit that I am guilty of all of that. Like, struggling, trying to keep my house clean, knowing good and well that wasn't like, okay, I'm not even gonna go into all of that. Anyway, we all do it in some capacity. Okay. So I'm gonna give you 3 reasons why you should stop comparing. Number 1, we all have different struggles. And just because you see somebody else doing something does not mean that you can do it. Like, we have different struggles. Okay, so here's what I mean. Say you are on social media and you see this mom. She has 2 kids. She has a nanny. She also has family who is very involved with the kids. She always has babysitters. She always has somebody that's able to watch her kids. She always like she may have like very involved parents or something. And her kids go to school. And you being a homeschool mom, let's say with 5 kids, you don't have much help. And you sitting here trying to match her level of excellence. Like, you're trying to get your house to look like hers. You're trying to get your life to look like hers. But the reason why you cannot, the reason why you will be sitting here running yourself raggedy is because your life not set up like hers. And it won't work. And so these expectations that you are putting on yourself to perform, they're unrealistic, they're unattainable because your life isn't set up like that. Now, there's nothing wrong with being inspired and getting motivated by another woman, by somebody else. Like, that is perfectly fine. But the danger zone is when you start putting them same expectations on yourself and beating yourself up because you can't measure up to her. Stop it. We all have different struggles. So maybe in one area you can do very well because the way that your life is set up, it allows you to do a certain thing well. Others, it don't. Again, I keep going back to the clean house example. You being a mom of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, who knows? You cannot compare your house to a mama of 1 or a mama of 2 who got maids and nannies and personal chefs. Like, you can't do all of that. Okay, here's another one, because this is another situation that came up. When we're talking about like being able to work out and like and eat and just like, even with time. Okay, let's use the example of time. You see a certain person who can work out 2 times a day, who has these perfect, like, these meals that just look just amazing, and they just doing it. Just seems like they have so much time to do all of this stuff, and then you are sitting here trying to mirror their day. You're trying to do everything that they're doing. But these people have help. They have hired help, professional help. You don't. And so the reason why you may be struggling in reaching certain goals is because you're trying to mirror what somebody else is doing. Okay, hold up. Let me get some. I'm sweating. Okay, let me fan myself. Woo! I'm hot. But I'm starting to realize that this room that I'm in is just really, really hot. Okay, so whew. Okay, anyway. So your time is just not set up like that. You have different struggles than they do. Okay? And don't even get down on your unique struggles, because your life is your life. Stop trying to change it and make the best of what you have. So maybe you can't go to the gym and work out 2 hours each time, but maybe you have 30 minutes a day to walk. Focus on what you can do. Focus on the things that you do have, and stop comparing. Just stop, because you are less likely to reach your goals. You're less likely to master your own world when you compare yourself to somebody else. So let's go ahead and jump to number 2. Mama, looks can be deceiving, okay? So people may look like they have it all together, but truth is they don't. Here we go again. I'm going to tell on myself. Y'all may see me on Instagram. You may see me and say, "Oh wow, she looks like she just has it all together." Like I see people, they assume that we just got money. Oh, she got the house, or she has the husband, and yeah. Listen, I'm gonna be the first to say that I'm not the first, but I will be first. Yes, I'll be first to say, raise my hand. I am not perfect, okay? And I am not as put together as what it may seem like on social media. So I create content, right? You cannot be comparing yourself to a content creator. That means that the stuff that you see on social media, that is created content that was perfectly put together, really nicely packaged and put on the internet. And people, and I don't do it, and I'm sure other people do not do it, so you can compare yourself to them. I don't want you to compare yourself to me. Be inspired, be motivated. You know what I mean? But don't sit here and try to mirror that, because you will drive yourself crazy if you try to mirror created content. Like, I can take a highlight of my life, a beautiful moment, put a filter on it, put some music in the background, and make it look so nice, and I can put a nice message by it. Listen to the message, okay? But again, don't try to mirror that, because if you try to mirror somebody's created content, something that is just not real life, like if you try to get, no, this is what I mean. Stop comparing your normal, regular, day-to-day life to somebody's created content. Okay? The content is created, right? The content is created. It is not always real. It is not always, that's not how everyday life is. My room look a mess. If y'all could see this office that I am currently recording in, y'all would be surprised, because it's a hot mess. I would pick the camera up and move it around, but I'm not about to do all of that. But listen, everything is not perfect and pretty in my life. Everything is not everything is not an Instagram reel, okay? Everything in my life is not Instagrammable. Sometimes I gotta push the junk to the side to record, okay? So don't try to copy, don't try to mimic created content and put those expectations on your everyday regular life, because you will go crazy, and you will find yourself in deeply depressed, because these goals that you are trying to reach, like this lifestyle that you are trying to get to, is not even attainable. And that person that you think is living a certain way really ain't living all that good. Like, just because I get on here and I look and I seem confident, I'm not always confident. I'm not always happy. Y'all, I'm over here sweating. Sorry. Whew. I'm not always happy. I'm not always confident. I'm not always fun. Like, I'm a regular person. I'm human. And that goes for anybody else who you are comparing yourself to. They are human. Their stuff still stinks too. Like, we all got our own issues, okay? So I know looks can be deceiving. And just because a person looks one way on the outside, you have no idea what they are dealing with behind closed doors. Stop comparing. And lastly, number 3, your unique struggles and flaws That was done on purpose. Listen, God created you the way he created you for a reason. It wasn't by mistake. The things that you deal with, that you struggle with, it was done on purpose. Okay, let me give you an example. I keep using me as an example. So, I naturally am a messy person. I am naturally a go with the flow person, a person who kind of seems like all over the place, free spirit. That's what some people may call it, free spirited, unorganized. Yeah, like that's how a lot of people view me. That's how I view myself. In the past, I have hated the fact that I am not super organized and super structured, right? But I realized that God made me this way for a reason. I am very creative, but one of the struggles of a creative person, of a visionary, is that I am more go with the flow. I'm not as structured and like rigid on my schedule as a lot of other people are. And I used to hate it. I remember being so upset with myself in a season of life because I have a friend who she's so organized, and her days are scheduled so nicely. Her weeks are scheduled, and everything is like time, like strict on time. I was trying to be like her. And I remember every time we met up, I was like, okay, so should I do it like this? Okay, so tell me what you think my schedule should look like, and how should I? Girl, I was failing every day. And let me tell you, trying to be like her sent me into depression. It sent me into a real bad case of anxiety and depression, all because I couldn't measure up. Not knowing that the things that I struggled with, the things that I saw that were horrible, God was intentional when he made me the way he made me. I thrive when I am in go with the flow mode. Like I do such a great job when I'm not super strict. And that's how God made me. And I got to be okay with it. And so you have to know that even your struggles are tied to your gifts. God has given us all unique gifts to grow the king, to grow the body of Christ, and just to advance the kingdom of heaven, right? So if we talking spiritual wise, if God gave me the gift to prophesy, are you going to look at my gift and say, man, that's not fair? Like, I wish I could prophesy like her, or I wish I could speak like her or teach like her. I wish I could do that. But the whole time God has given you a gift of writing, or maybe God has given you the gift of administration, but you completely ignored the gifts God gave you because you sitting over here looking at the next person's gifts. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. God made you the way he made you on purpose. Okay, I keep using myself as an example because, again, like, I've dealt with this a lot. So I am well acquainted with comparison. So another thing is that, and I still deal with this. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be honest and say that I still struggle with this. I don't like the way that I talk. I don't like I'm very self-conscious about the way that I stutter. I get self-conscious about the way that sometimes, like, it's my accent, okay? I'm from Oak Cliff, Texas, and Oak Cliff comes out a lot, and I always try to mask it and try to, like, hide the fact that I talk ghetto sometimes, right? And so then even doing this podcast, like, a lot of times I don't even want to sit here and watch myself talk, because I'm like, oh my gosh, why did I say that word like that? Or why did I say, like, I struggle with that. But what I have been slowly realizing is that even the way I talk, God did that on purpose. God put me in Oak Cliff on purpose. He like, and if you, okay, I know a lot of listeners, y'all not from Dallas. Oak Cliff is like kind of hood, okay? But God placed me where I grew up for a reason. I talk like this for a reason, because the people that God has called me to reach, those are the people who need to hear the way that they need whatever I have, right? And I have to be my most authentic self. I cannot be looking at the next person who just speaks so well and just is so articulate and just pronounces their words so perfectly. Like, I can't do that. I mean, I can. I have learned how to code switch very well, but I have been trying to stop because I'm like, and I have even been told by other people, like, just be yourself. And I'm like, I am being myself, but I'm a little bit more polished. What's wrong with polishing? No, be yourself. I'm telling you, be yourself. Do not compare yourself to anybody else. Do not try to do what other people do, because if you do, you will limit yourself. You will limit your reach. You can go farther. You can go further. I mean, you can go further in life. You can go further in your purpose and in your calling if you just stay true to who you are and just be crazy. If you silly, be silly. If you like, if you talk ghetto, talk ghetto. If you talk country, if you talk real Southern, do that. Own it. And stop looking at everybody else, because God did not make you to try to fit in with everybody else. He did not make you to be inside the box and to look like everybody else. He made you unique. Own that uniqueness. Girl, listen, I'm talking to myself, okay? I'm talking to myself. This is a journey. And let me just go ahead and just real quick, because I'm almost done, but I gotta say this. This is what Mom Goals is about. Like, I don't get on here to talk to y'all like I have it all together, but Mom Goals, I created Mom Goals because I wanted y'all to come and journey with me to becoming my idea of Mom Goals, right? Like, to becoming so I want you to be joining me on you growing and you walking towards whatever your idea of Mom Goals is. It's a journey, y'all. We have not arrived. I don't have it all together, and I'm not going to pretend that I do. But I know one thing, that when I struggle, I let the Holy Spirit lead me in correcting some of my stinking thinking, and God has just given me the gift to be able to share that with y'all. So I hope that this message, that this podcast, that it blesses you. I hope that you can be delivered from comparison. And even when God delivers you, there's going to be different situations and different times where you still will, where you still will struggle with it. I really hope that. Okay. Oh, shoot. I have been fanning myself in this microphone, and I hope that it is not picking it up. Oh my gosh. Isaiah gonna be mad at me. All right. It is what it is. I hope that this message can still be shared. I don't want to have to record it again. But anyway, I love y'all, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Make sure that if you are watching from YouTube, make sure you go ahead and click the button and subscribe. Also, click the bell so that you can be notified every time I upload a video. And if you are, like and share this with a mama. There's other mamas who struggle with the same thing and who probably need to hear this message. Also, if you are listening on the podcast, make sure you share this message with another mama, and make sure you follow the show, leave a review, and I think that's it. All right. I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.